Can you laugh right now? Go ahead, just for a second. If you did, you just did something older than language, older than fire, older than anything that makes you recognizably human. The oldest evidence of laughter in your evolutionary line goes back 10 to 16 million years. Not thousands, millions. Before your species existed, before any human species existed, something was already laughing, and it wasn't telling jokes. You probably think laughter is uniquely human, something that separates you from every other animal, a response to wit, to cleverness, to humor. In 2009, researcher Marina Davila Ross at the University of Portsmouth recorded the sounds great apes make when tickled, chimpanzees, gorillas, bonobos, orangutans, and compared them acoustically to human laughter. The finding was simple and slightly unsettling. The closer the ape is to you genetically, the closer its laugh sounds to yours. Chimpanzees laugh in rapid, rhythmic exhales. Same physical mechanism, same social trigger, same basic pattern as the sound you just made. Laughter didn't start with humans. It was already ancient by the time your species showed up. And here's what that means for you right now. That laugh, the one you just made or almost made, wasn't invented by your brain. It was inherited from a line of creatures stretching back millions of years who made that exact sound in that exact situation for that exact reason. Your laugh is older than your species. Every time you've laughed so hard you couldn't breathe, every time something caught you completely off guard, every time you lost it at something stupid at 2 a.m., all of it running on hardware installed 10 million years before you were born. But here's where it gets strange, because your earliest ancestors weren't laughing at jokes, weren't laughing at wit or cleverness or anything cognitive. They were laughing at being tickled, specifically at physical play, roughhousing, the chaotic, harmless contact between creatures who trusted each other enough to pretend to fight. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford University spent years studying laughter across primate species. His finding: laughter is a bonding mechanism, a social glue. When you laugh with someone, your brain releases endorphins, the same chemicals released during physical touch, during exercise, during certain drugs. Your ancestors didn't laugh because something was funny. They laughed because it felt like being touched by someone safe. And here's what's uncomfortable about that. When you laugh alone, at your phone, at a video, at a meme nobody else is there to see, your brain still releases those chemicals, still gets that hit of social warmth with nobody there to share it. You're bonding with nothing. And it still works. Now here's the part that should genuinely stop you, because at some point between 10 million years ago and right now, something changed. Laughter stopped being just a physical response to tickling and play. It became a weapon. Evolutionary psychologist Jeffrey Miller at the University of New Mexico spent years studying humor as a form of sexual selection. His argument: the ability to make others laugh isn't just charming, it's a display of cognitive fitness, intelligence, creativity. The ability to hold multiple ideas in your head simultaneously and find the gap between them. Making someone laugh, genuinely, unexpectedly, in a way they couldn't predict, is one of the most cognitively demanding things a human brain can do. And your ancestors knew it, not consciously, not deliberately. But the ones who could make others laugh got more attention, more trust, more allies, more mates. Your sense of humor isn't a personality trait. It's a survival mechanism that your ancestors honed over hundreds of thousands of years of competing for exactly that reaction you just had. And then there's the oldest joke ever recorded. Because at some point, your ancestors stopped just laughing. They started writing the things that made them laugh down. The oldest joke in recorded human history comes from ancient Sumeria, around 1900 BCE, nearly 4,000 years ago. You probably expect something sophisticated, something clever, something that reflects the dignity of one of the earliest civilizations ever built. It's a joke about a woman who had never sat on her husband's lap. That's it. That's the joke. 4,000 years old. First thing your ancestors thought was worth writing down for posterity. And here's what that tells you. The things that made your ancestors laugh, the gap between expectation and reality, the slightly inappropriate observation, the thing everyone was thinking but nobody said out loud, are identical to the things that make you laugh right now. 4,000 years, different language, different world, different everything. Same joke. But here's the darker layer underneath all of this. Because laughter isn't always what it feels like. In 1962, something happened in a girls' school in Tanganyika, modern-day Tanzania, that researchers still struggle to fully explain. 3 girls started laughing, couldn't stop. The laughter spread. Within days, hundreds of students were affected. The school had to close. The laughter epidemic lasted 18 months and spread to multiple villages. Not because anything was funny, researchers concluded it was a mass psychogenic event. Laughter as a stress response, a social contagion. The body using the oldest emotional release mechanism, it had to process collective anxiety that had no other outlet. Your ancestors used laughter the same way, not just for joy, for release, for processing fear and tension and the unbearable weight of living in a world that was constantly trying to kill them. Laughter was the oldest coping mechanism your species had. Before therapy, before language, before any framework for understanding why you felt what you felt. You laughed because it was the only thing your body knew how to do with too much feeling. And here's something that should make you feel something specific. In 2021, researchers studying laughter across cultures found one consistent pattern across every society ever examined. Laughter is almost always social, in studies measuring when people actually laugh, not when they think they laugh. People are 30 times more likely to laugh when they're with others than when they're alone. 30 times. You think you laugh at funny things, at jokes, at videos, at something clever. But what you're actually laughing at, most of the time, is other people, the presence of other people, the safety of other people, the specific feeling of being in a room with someone who makes the world feel slightly less heavy. Your ancestors figured that out 10 million years before you did. They just didn't have words for it. Here's the full picture. 10 million years ago, a primate made a rapid, rhythmic exhale during physical play with another primate it trusted. That sound, that specific involuntary release, felt good, released endorphins, strengthened the bond. 300,000 years ago, your direct ancestors were using it not just for play, but for social bonding, for processing fear, for signaling safety in a world with no other way to signal it. 4,000 years ago, someone thought a joke was worth writing down. And the joke was dirty, and it made people laugh, then exactly the way it would make people laugh now. And today, you laugh at your phone, at memes, at videos of strangers doing things that shouldn't be funny but are. And every time you do, even alone at 2 a.m. with nobody watching, your brain releases the same endorphins, feels the same ancient warmth, like being touched by someone safe. That laugh you made at the beginning of this video, the one you probably forgot about by now. Your oldest ancestors made that exact sound for the exact same reason. Not because something was funny, because for 1 second, everything felt okay, and 10 million years later, it still does.